This video is on Challan correction service available on the e-filing portal. The Challan correction service is a new service which is available to all PAN users who are registered on the e-filing portal. With this service, a paid challan can be corrected on the e-filing portal for assessment year, tax applicable which is a major head, and the type of payment which is a minor head. Let us first see the prerequisites for availing the Challan correction service. Please note that the Challan correction request can only be submitted in the post-login mode. So therefore, you should be a registered PAN user on the e-filing portal. The challan which is to be corrected should not be consumed during processing, and the Challan correction request should not be pending with any other authority. Also, please note that the Challan correction service is presently available for challans pertaining to assessment year 2021 onwards. In case you wish to apply for challan correction pertaining to years prior to assessment year 2021, you are requested to approach the jurisdictional assessing officer. Also, please note that the challan correction request will be allowed only once on the e-filing portal for any submitted challan. If you wish to make further corrections in the challan, you are requested to approach the jurisdictional assessing officer. Challan correction request is only available for minor heads 100, that is advance tax, minor head 300, which is the self-assessment tax, and minor head 400, which is regular assessment tax for demand payment, and their corresponding major heads through the e-filing portal. Please submit challan correction request to the jurisdictional assessing officer for minor heads other than 100, 300, and 400. It is also important to note the time window for challan correction. So if you wish to change the major head, that is tax applicable on the e-filing portal, you can change it within 30 days of challan deposit date. For changing the minor head, that is the type of payment, the time that is allowed is 30 days of the challan deposit date. For changing assessment year for any particular challan, you can correct it within 7 days of the challan deposit date. Let us now see step by step how do we create a challan correction request. As this is a post-login service, you're first required to log into the e-filing portal using your valid user ID and password. If you are an individual user and your PAN is not linked with your Aadhaar, you will see a pop-up message that your PAN is made inoperative as it is not linked with Aadhaar. To link the PAN with Aadhaar, you can click on Link Now button, else you can click on Continue. On the dashboard, you can go on Services and then click Challan Correction. On the Challan Correction page, you can click the plus Create Challan Correction Request button to create a new challan correction request. You would be required to select the relevant attribute for challan correction, select the appropriate option and then click on Continue button. You would also be required to select the assessment year or the challan identification number for which the challan correction request is required to be raised. Post selection, click Continue to proceed. Once the relevant challan is selected, on the challan correction page, you can enter the correct challan attributes and then click on Continue button. Please verify the summary of changes, and if the changes are correctly updated, you can click on Continue button. You are now required to e-verify the challan correction request either using Aadhaar OTP, digital signature certificates, or e-verification code. Please refer to a video on how to e-verify to know more. Post e-verification, a success message will be displayed. You can click View Challan Correction Status to know the status of challan correction. Let us now see how do we check the status of challan correction request. Again, you are required to log into the e-filing portal using your valid user ID and password. Post login, again go to the Services tab and click on Challan Correction. You can view the details and check the status of challan correction request raised by you. The entire life cycle of the correction request is visible on the screen. It is also very important to answer some of the frequently asked questions on challan correction. The first question can be that can I file a challan correction request more than once, or can I correct a corrected challan? Please note that the challan correction request will be allowed only once on the e-filing portal for any submitted challan. If you wish to make any further corrections in the challan, you are requested to approach the jurisdictional assessing officer. There are 3 attributes of a challan which can be corrected on the e-filing portal. These are assessment year, major head, which is the tax applicable, and minor head, which is the type of payment. You would also be interested in knowing within how many days of Challan deposit date can you correct the assessment year. Please note that the assessment year can be corrected within 7 days of Challan deposit date. Similarly, if you wish to correct the major or the minor head, you get 30 days post the Challan deposit date. Another question could be, can I correct Challans deposited under minor head 500 and minor head 800? Please note, Challan payment under minor head 500 and minor head 800 cannot be corrected and refunded. Conversely, if a Challan payment for any minor head, for example minor head 500 for payment of PAN Aadhaar linking, is done inadvertently in minor heads 100, 200, 300 or 400, you can claim the refund of such wrongly paid Challan by filing income tax return and claiming the same as refund. Challan correction has now become very easy. To know more, you may visit our website